This is Kruger National Park in South Africa, home to some of the biggest, fastest and deadliest animals on the planet. CBBC have brought 4 British and 4 South African children to spend a month here training to be rookie game rangers.
Incredible.
Leading them on this amazing adventure will be their mentors, Trails Ranger Rudy.
It's taken me years to learn to be a ranger. They've only got 1 month to do it.
And Guide Frankie.
In the African bush, danger can be around any corner. So the Safari 8 needs to be alert and have to be ready at any time.
8 kids, 2 mentors and 1 massive challenge. To lead 2 celebrity guests on a safari experience of a lifetime. Last time on Safari 8, our rookie rangers left the comfort of their treehouse for a more intense bush experience.
I'm not sleeping here and I don't like it, and I liked it where we were.
And had an unforgettable moment tracking an elephant.
It was the most incredible experience ever.
Today, the Safari 8 become at one with the bush.
There's a different makeup than what I usually wear.
I feel like the SAS.
Have a heart-stopping encounter.
I want everybody to follow me.
We just realised that there was another one coming towards us.
And the teams play dirty with a game of elephant dung volleyball. The Safari 8 are starting their 2nd week's training as rookie game rangers in Kruger National Park. And as ever, the team's mentors, Trails Ranger Rudy and Guide Frankie, will be sharing their expert knowledge to teach them everything they need to know about becoming rookie rangers.
I think the kids really learned a lot in their first week. The questions that they've been asking really shows that they've learned and listened very carefully to myself and Rudy. And I think week 2 is going to be a lot tougher for them.
A few of them are still very individual and they need to start working as a team.
The Safari 8 have no idea what Rudy and Frankie have in store for them today, and speculation is rife.
So guys, where do you think we're going to be going today?
I rate we're gonna go look for lions.
I rate we're going to a sanctuary, like a cheetah sanctuary.
No, I don't think we're going to a sanctuary. I really want to go look for lions or cheetahs or leopards.
Predators are much better than herbivores. It's just
Why?
they're just so much cooler. Like you see them hunting stuff, and like you wouldn't see like a rhino or like a hippo. You just see grass.
Oh dear, looks like Thomas is going to be disappointed because this morning the team are visiting a rhino, but this herbivore is far from boring. The rhinoceros is one of the most dangerous animals in the world, mainly due to its sheer size. While black rhinos can weigh up to 1,000 kilograms, the bigger white rhino can weigh more than twice that. That's the same as a family car.
Okay guys, let's move around here.
The rhino the team are meeting today is a white rhino called Clockies. Clockies came to stay at these bomas, or pens, while he was ill. But after he was released into the wild, he hung around until the staff let him back in again.
Okay guys, why we brought you here? It's also because you've seen rhinos in the wild. We've seen them walking around in the bush. We've seen dead rhino. And we're going to give you an opportunity to see them right up close and even touch them.
All right, guys, can any one of you tell me what the rhino horn is made out of? Thomas.
It's the stuff that's made out of your nails.
It's called? Do you know?
Ivory?
No. Ivory is the white tusks. Elephants got that.
It's called keratin. And it's like Thomas said, it's the same substance your nails is made out of. All right, guys, now what we would like you to do now is have a good look at this animal. Look at his tracks, look at the way his foot structure works. Because for your final challenge, this will be one of the animals that you guys need to find.
The team have a rhino delicacy, some long grass called lucerne, to tempt Clockies over so they can get a closer look at him.
Basically, you put your hand like this. There we go. See how it's pulling it out of your hand, eh?
Yeah.
Strong lips.
Strong.
Very strong lips.
I was really surprised how hard the rhino's horn was and then how soft around the bottom of it the rhino's nose was.
Touching a rhino was so exciting, and it's so big when you get close to it. I felt like I was in front of what you call this, a dinosaur or something.
Every task the Safari 8 are given will help them achieve their ultimate goal of becoming fully fledged rookie game rangers. And meeting Clockies is no exception.
Getting up close and actually being able to see the feet gives you a better idea of what the tracks will look like. So I think this is going to help us a lot with tracking them and the whole procedure in our final challenge.
But a Kruger Ranger's job isn't just about tracking animals. It's also about protecting them from the park's biggest threat, poachers. Poachers are people who break into the park to kill animals, either for meat or to sell their horns, tusk or hide. Sadly, in Kruger Park, one animal is poached every day, and top of the poachers' most wanted list is the rhino, because of its horn that poachers can sell for a lot of money. But with 20,000 square kilometres to cover and 175,000 animals to protect, it's impossible for the game rangers to stop poachers on their own. So the park has their own poaching police, and this is Kobus, whose job it is to head up the intelligence department.
The last rhino we lost in the Kruger was some weeks ago. We lost 38 for 2009, so it's almost one rhino per week. Do you want to feel this one?
That's heavy.
The price for a rhino horn is around about 7,000 pounds per kilo.
Kilo.
Yes. That one will be more or less 5 kilograms.
So that means that this rhino horn is worth £35,000.
I was very shocked about how much money is made from just a piece of bone that you can just get from your nails. You might as well just sell your nails than kill an innocent rhino who hasn't done anything to you.
What do the poachers want in the horn?
According to the traditional healers in the Far East, you can use it for blood pressure, cancer, and the latest is for swine flu.
But doctors don't think that rhino horn can cure any illnesses at all.
Do they like saw it off or pull it off or?
They either use an axe or a sharp knife or a saw to take it off.
Alright guys, Kobus has got some photos of actual crime scenes on rhino poaching. Some of the images can be sensitive and upsetting, so who of you would like to have a look at them?
You all right, Ella? Do you see the pictures? Okay.
Even though these pictures will be tough to look at, the Safari 8 know how important it is as rookie rangers to really understand poaching.
This one, you will see the horns was actually taken off by an axe.
Is it dead?
Yeah, that animal is dead.
The photos that he showed us were actually quite disturbing because they weren't like cartoons, they were serious, like proper up-close pictures.
When I saw the pictures, I had no idea like that's what the poachers did. It was so horrible and I couldn't really look at them.
But for animal lover Ella, these shocking images are just too much to bear.
It made me feel very unsettled and my heart just stopped and slowed down and made me really think about what this animal could have gone through.
Ella, are you alright? You can come stand here by me if you want.
It just made me feel very sick and I had to leave the group.
And if an animal didn't feel it, and so he was dead, it's still a violent thing to do. And it's a very unnecessary thing to do. That's why we've got guys like Kobus here trying to stop the people from doing something like that.
A few days ago, Ella got very upset when the team found an injured rhino that had to be put to sleep. So have these two experiences put her off being a ranger?
It's not made me think twice about this job. It's just made me really realise that this stuff does happen. It just hurts me to think that they went through pain.
Now the team understand how and why poaching happens, it's time for them to learn how to stop it. The game rangers at the park have been trained to spot the signs of poachers, but this can be very dangerous. So Rudy and Frankie have come up with a safe way for the Safari 8 to learn the ropes.
We have devised a method with Bruce Leslie, who's in charge of special operations anti-poaching, to imitate everything that we do.
Bruce has sent out two of his team, Edward and Robert, to pretend to be poachers. They've just set off and are leaving tracks or spoor for the Safari 8 to follow. And there'll be other clues for the team to find along the way.
What I'm hoping for from the Safari 8 is their skills of observation, hearing, sight, smell, all those kind of things must be utilised. Up to now, I think they've been solely looking at the wildlife. Now we're bringing in the human aspect. It's very similar to tracking animals, except people are more intelligent.
Before they set off on their mission to track the fake poachers, the Safari 8 get a briefing from Bruce.
So what we're going to do this afternoon is we're going to walk in a patrol formation until we detect sign. And in this case with poachers, it could be the sound of a rifle, it could be a little fire or column of smoke where there's a poacher's camp, but more likely it's going to be footprints. If I want to indicate something without talking on the radio or without shouting to you, we're not going to shout here, we're going to use hand signals because we want stealth and quiet. So I will stop you with this sign. That means stop when you see it. This means go down. I'm going to say, I see tracks.
And as well as communicating silently, the team needs to be nearly invisible too.
We're not going to give you night camo, totally black. We're going to give you a tree look.
You know this.
Too white lion now. I feel like the SAS.
This is a different makeup than what I'd usually wear. It's a wee bit more full, a wee bit much, but you know, I could get used to it.
So, fake poachers Edward and Robert are still busy laying their trail, and it's time for the mission to start. Don't forget that Bruce and his team have to carry rifles for protection as dangerous animals run freely in Kruger Park.
The poaching very bad and a lot of rhinos are dying. So this is basically a test course, it's not the real thing. They've got some of their men pretending to be poachers and we're trying to catch them just so we can get the feel of what it's like to be in the field and catching poachers.
I'm excited. Maybe lots of fun. And yeah, it's great.
After about 10 minutes of careful observation, 12-year-old Thomas spots a human footprint or spoor.
Look at the spoor, identify it, and we're going to confirm it up ahead because maybe it's not them, maybe it's a day walk, maybe it's other people.
So far we found spoor of the people that we think are the poachers. So now we're just identifying the spoor, finding out which direction they're in, looking where they could be and looking at the kind of shoe they're wearing.
Oh, I know what it is. It's flip-flops. Because it's too flat.
You're right that they are flip-flops, but very African, made from car tires. Okay.
So it's full marks for detective work. But while the team have been busy tracking the fake poachers, a nosy rhino has tracked them. But as usual, mentor Rudy has been on the lookout.
We were tracking the spoor right here, and behind us the rhino came in. You always keep your eyes out for anything else. So he's on his pathway, he's probably marking his territory.
Now we can see a rhino standing right over there.
Standing there, just looking at us. He sees me, scared of me. What are you gonna do, Rhino? What are you gonna do?
This is exactly why it's vital the rangers are armed at all times. Some of Bruce's team keep a lookout while the Safari 8 get going.
I think he wants a drink.
From the direction of the footprints, our rookie rangers have worked out where the fake poachers Edward and Robert are headed. And as they start to make their way through the thick bush, they walk in single file so they don't lose contact with each other.
Yeah, be careful where you're standing. You're standing on evidence. Come stand here.
After just a few minutes, the team spot the poachers' hideout.
Within this evidence here is telling me something. There's a fire. We could come here and just fiddle a little bit, see if there's any other evidence inside here.
Well, we've just found a poacher's camp and we know that they weren't here that long ago because there's a fire and it's still hot.
What do you think this tells us?
That's what they used to start the fire?
Exactly, eh? These guys have some good bush skills. What's behind there? Did you look? Okay, what you did now, you picked it up with your hands. Don't touch evidence. Why? DNA, maybe ate there, saliva on the can, fingerprints. We want the fingerprints because we want to link the person we arrest to this crime scene.
They've left their cans and pots and snares, so that shows that they could have stopped for lunch here.
And I think there's water up ahead. There can be rhinos there. I suspect the poachers will be there, so let's go.
So they're getting closer.
Been advised to move closer to check if they're nearby because there's a river around and there might be some rhinos.
We go this way, follow me.
Animals come to watering holes like this to drink. And just as Bruce suspected, fake poachers Edward and Robert are lurking there too, completely unaware that the Safari 8 have successfully used their ranger skills to track them down, and that they're about to pounce.
It's been fantastic following the poacher's trail this afternoon. Bruce and his guys and everybody ran in and caught the poachers. It was so fun.
It was very convincing. I think they did a very good job of hiding themselves today, so it was a challenge, but we got through it and we managed to arrest them.
I think the children did very well, considering they haven't tracked people before. Very impressed.
On our final challenge, if I found a sign of poaching, I think I would be able to recognise it, and now after today I'd know what to do.
Safari 8 kids, I think they realise now what a hard job anti-poaching is. I think they realise it's hard work.
Coming up, the Safari 8 discover just how dangerous the bush can be.
Oh my gosh.
And cleaning up in camp gets very, very dirty.
Oh, that is not
There are only 3 weeks until the Safari 8's final challenge, taking guests on a 2-day bush experience to track the big 5 safari animals. So far, the rookie rangers have learnt how to track 2 of the big 5, elephants and buffalo. But today, they'll be making it a hat trick.
You've seen their footprints, you've seen them in the wild.
You've seen them up close.
Today, we are tracking rhino.
Oh, yes!
You up for it?
Yeah.
Thomas?
Yeah.
Come on, picture.
For the second time in 2 days, Thomas is seriously underwhelmed.
I don't really like rhinos. I just think they're really boring. And they're herbivores, which I don't really like because I like predators, like when they try and catch their meat and stuff. It's really cool.
All right, let's go.
But as a ranger, you can't just track your favourite animals. So Thomas vows to put in 100% on the morning's mission.
I will listen and pay attention so I can make notes for the final challenge.
As the team heads out to track the rhinos, Thomas seems to have cheered up. But suddenly, the singing turns to screams. He's been stung.
It's okay, Thomas. It's okay, Thomas.
But mentor Rudy comes straight to the rescue.
It's like a bee sting.
Yeah, okay.
Thomas has taken his shirt off to make sure the insect is gone, and good old Frankie's on hand with the antiseptic.
This will kill the paint. Put it on thick. Anywhere else?
While Thomas is getting treated, the rest of the gang retell their version of the big sting.
The fish's eye smacked his eye and it went away because something hit his eye. We all saw it. We saw a big black thing.
Is that what it was? That big red
Yeah,
thing?
that big red thing.
big. As he scratched it and he moved his shirt up, it flew out and it was like this big.
Because
And it was so red.
you know what must have happened? Because he's on the edge and the wind's blowing right in.
Yeah.
It must have been flying and gone in his shirt and he just got a bit aggravated.
From the team's slightly exaggerated descriptions, Rudy thinks the insect was a red velvet ant, a type of wasp that has a nasty sting.
Someone, you know, like you have your injection,
Yeah.
and it just feels like that all the time. Like it's constantly poking one in.
Do you still feel it now?
No, it's right now.
You're actually quite a strong little guy.
Poor Thomas. It just isn't his day. But at least he's smiling again.
Are you right, yeah?
Yeah, Frank's goes.
Are you okay?
Frank's just
Good
a
man.
comedian.
Go find some rhinos.
Yeah!
The Safari 8 have already had a week's worth of ranger training. So before they set off, their mentors decide to test the team's tracking knowledge.
What you should remember when you're tracking an animal. Ashley?
Always check the wind direction by kicking your shoe or picking up some sand, because that will show you which way you don't need to go. You go the opposite way so the animal can't smell you.
Okay. Norma?
You need to check for alert signals around the place, for example, oxpeckers and some other animals that might tell you if there's something wrong or if there's something nearby.
Oxpeckers are little birds that can always be found around big game like rhinos, buffalo and hippos because they feed off the ticks and flies that live on these larger animals.
If you do see an animal, try not to get too close to it and try and let it be comfortable with you there.
Look for fresh tracks that have been made, and you can tell they're fresh because you can see that they've just been pressed down, and they also have scuff marks so you can see what way they go.
It really amazed me the amount of knowledge the Safari 8 kids could actually store. It shows me that they're really interested in what we are telling them.
So they've impressed the mentors with their knowledge, but will it help them find a wild rhino today? Tracking any animal on foot can be very dangerous, so it's important the team walk in single file and stick close to Frankie and Rudy. Just a few steps later, and it looks like the team might have already found what they're looking for.
First bit of luck for the day. Rhino tracks here, reasonably fresh, moving down this little pathway here.
Fresh tracks leading off in a clear direction means a rhino might be close by.
Guys, psst. Safari 8, come. He's walking there. Hey.
Seeing the rhino like that was really different from the previous rhino that we saw because it was so near, and realizing that it was a wild one, it was like so exciting at the same time but weird because we've never been that close to a wild rhino before.
So we're going to move slowly towards it, okay? We're going to see if there's a safe spot for us.
As we moved closer, it actually saw us, and then it turned and then it walked away.
As a ranger or guide, there's one vital rule that you guys must always remember when you've got clients with you or when you are in the bush. Once an animal has shown you, listen, I know you're there, I'm not happy with you here, he runs away, don't push your luck.
All right, guys, so we're going to start walking back to the vehicles. Single file, we still might encounter something else.
After this amazing sighting, the Safari 8 have now seen 3 of the big 5. But as the group start to make their way back to the truck, something unexpected happens.
I want everybody to follow me.
Rudy has spotted a female white rhino and her calf coming towards the group, and everyone, including the camera crew, needs to follow the mentor's instructions immediately.
I wasn't scared when I saw the first rhino, but when I saw the cow and the calf, I was a bit scared because I know that rhinos are a bit more aggressive when they were a bit young.
Rudy makes sure the group is at a safe distance from the rhinos before stopping to observe them.
It's walking. It's fine. It's totally relaxed.
Sure.
Yeah, it's totally relaxed.
Oh my gosh. As it got a little bit near and as it heard us, it actually ran away, which was such a relief.
We were right by that bush.
Yes.
She's pretty though.
See how quickly they get to the bush? Just walking. She wasn't even running.
We were standing there talking. Did she know we were there, or was she totally unaware?
She was totally unaware because the wind's also taking not just our scent, but also the sound the wind carries away.
And as soon as we started moving down, she picked up our sound, and that's when she ran.
That's what you always need to remember in the bush. Even after a sighting, after looking at a dangerous animal, you're still in the bush.
Thomas started the day thinking rhinos are boring, but have the morning's events changed his mind?
Now I can actually see that they're wild and they are vicious. I think it was really exciting, much more exciting than what I thought.
It was an intense morning for our rookie rangers, but things are about to get even more serious because once again, it's Britain versus South Africa. Last time the two countries went head to head, the Brits lost when Manya spat his kudu poo the furthest. So this is a chance for the UK to get their own back with a rather unusual game of volleyball.
Welcome to the first ever Kruger Park Elephant Dung volleyball competition. Woo! The winning team, we're going to get banana splits.
Oh, we are so winners.
The losing team will be washing the uniform of the winning team.
Woo!
It's the best of 9 and the judge's decision is final.
Are you ready?
Yeah!
Oh! 1-0. Oh, 2-0. That's 3-0. Oh, close,
Well
close,
done,
close.
England.
Finally, the Brits have pulled one back.
You can't catch it.
But 1 point later, and it's nearly all over.
It's 4-1. It's match point for the South Africans. Okay, go for it.
The Brits think Noma caught the dung ball, and as the mentors can't be sure, they give the team another go.
Go for it. Okay. 4-2.
4-2. Leave it. Yay, that's out.
Out. 4-all. Match point.
Match point.
So after being 4-1 down, the Brits have clawed their way back, and this is the decider. Can the UK kids hold their nerve, or will they fall at the final hurdle?
Go for it. Yes!
Oh, it's all over. The Brits have lost again, and Thomas really isn't happy.
Obviously everyone's gutted about not winning, but I think the South Africans did have a bit of advantage because me, Caroline and Ella are three of the shortest.
Shall we go and wash a couple of uniforms?
No!
Come.
Bleach them! We are so bleaching them!
And now for that all-important prize.
Guys, well done and a well-deserved victory. Yeah. Let's dig in.
Meanwhile, over with the losers.
I felt absolutely gutted again that England has lost again against the South Africans. Because we did a really good job in coming back and we shouldn't have lost, but it's a game of sport for you.
I think we're all definitely very glad that we're not the ones that have to wash the uniforms and we get to enjoy ice cream and banana.
But the Brits seem determined to enjoy themselves too, and it's only a matter of time before it all kicks off.
This is payback. Well, we got there, but they got us.
Well, if you can't beat them, join them. And Thomas has finally got a smile on his face.
Tastes actually quite nice. Tastes really good.
I know,
it was
man,
awful fun. That was really fun.
Next time on Safari 8, the team deal with a medical emergency.
You've been bitten by a black mama, Thomas. Don't move.
Try to get their bearings.
I'm not sure, but I don't think we're going the right way.
And have a big moment with an even bigger cat.
I've never seen anything like this.